Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dominic Peterson, aka Duck Zone 503, talking all things Oregon football. If you're not following, if you're not subscribed already, go and smash those buttons right now to join the Duck Zone family where we're always talking Oregon football. Man, just got back from the gym, just ate some dinner. It's time to preview and predict this big game in Autzen Stadium this weekend, man. 12:30 kickoff time. Number 12, BYU's coming to Autzen to play the Ducks, the Oregon Ducks. Yes, sir, go Ducks. Just came in at number 25, so hopping back in the top 25 for this week. We're going to see if Oregon can really stay there. Are they really a top 25 team? Or is the week one showing going to show out again? We'll see what's happening. Number 12, BYU, 5-0 against the Pac-12 last year, man. We know they're real. Just came off a big-time emotional win against Baylor. Man, it's going to be a big-time game. First big-time game in Autzen Stadium since, I think, like 2018 when Washington was a highly ranked team at that time. And, man, ever since then, I mean, we had some good games in Autzen, but, man, this is going to be a big one. Let's pack the house. Man, it's going to be awesome. So, Oregon came off a big-time victory. Got their first victory of the season against Eastern Washington, 70-14 beatdown at home. That's a way to bounce back from the Georgia loss. They lost to Georgia in Atlanta, 49-3. We're now 1-1 on the season. Had high hopes coming in. Thought it was going to be a competitive game. And Georgia just looks like the best team in the country at this point. I mean, they're ranked number 1 in the AP at this point for a reason. They show no cracks. I mean, you look at Alabama. I mean, they had a one point, scary win in Texas. You look at Ohio State. They beat Notre Dame early on, and they looked pretty good. But then you look at Notre Dame now, and you're kind of questioning, like, that was a game? It was only an 11-point win. So, I mean, Georgia just looks unmatched at this point on. Now, things can change. We still got October, November to go. So, we're going to see how it goes, just like we're going to see if Oregon's real. I have my opinions on Oregon, and I'm still waiting to see what's going on. I mean, they looked really bad against elite top competition. Us as Duck fans, we want to be at that elite top competition, play for national championships. That's one of the reasons why we went after Dan Lanning in the coaching search and passed on a lot of other guys. So, but it was good to bounce back, and it's time to play real competition. So here we go. I think BYU is kind of on the same tier as Oregon right now, on their way up, trying to prove who they are. Solid, good team year after year. They always have a good team, never really bad teams. But not at that elite level yet. Not at that elite level. Can't really talk about them going to the college football playoff yet. But hey, man, BYU being number 12 in the country, coming off a big win against Baylor, got the revenge loss there. I mean, if they beat Oregon in Autzen Stadium, they have a path to the college football playoff. Now, Oregon, on the other hand, got beat pretty bad by Georgia. They'll have a lot of, a whole bunch of help and win out big against big-time opponents if they're going to have any chance of making the playoff at this point. But we still have a lot to play for. Conference championship, Rose Bowls, always things that Duck fans love to get to. So, let's talk about BYU last week. BYU coming off big-time emotional win over Baylor, 26-20 in double overtime. I mean, man, I was watching that game after the Duck game, got to the hotel, and, man, BYU looks good. Baylor, it's important to note that Baylor beat BYU last year 38-24. So this was a revenge game for BYU at home, and they got it. They got it done. They got over that hump. BYU is now 2-0 on the season. They have wins against Baylor last week, and then week 1 they went to Southern Florida and put it on them. It was 28-0 in the first quarter. So BYU is no joke. All time in this series, Oregon is 3-3 against BYU. So each team has 3 wins in the all-time series. We're going to see who can take the lead in this all-time series in this matchup. Last matchup was in 2006 in the Las Vegas Bowl, where BYU beat Oregon 38-3. Now, Oregon at home all-time versus BYU is 3-1. Pretty good news there for Duck fans. They have wins in 1964 and 65 back-to-back at home, and then 1990. The only loss at home to BYU was in 1978 in a close 1-point loss, 17-16, where the Cougars came out on top in Autzen Stadium there. All right, well, let's get into this game. We kind of talked about the history, what happened last week. Let's get into this game. I always like to start out with my 3 keys to an Oregon victory. I always like to give my 3 keys on what Oregon should do if they want to get this win. So number 1, and this is really big throughout the season, no matter the opponent, but start fast. I had this as a key as my last game as well, but it's at home. This is big time for Bo Nix as quarterback to get him to be relaxed throughout the game, make good decisions. I feel like we have to get this lead and start fast. Autzen Stadium is going to be rocking and rolling for this game. Like I said, first big game since 2018. You got to start fast and catch that momentum. I want to see a lead by halftime. I don't care if it's 3 points. I don't care if it's 50 points. I want to see the lead at halftime. I want to start fast. Don't get in a hole. If you get in a hole against a veteran-led BYU team, there's going to be trouble. All right, number 2, limit turnovers. I want to see, I'll let you get 1, all right? With Bo Nix at QB, I mean, I like Bo, but, you're bound to get a turnover or 2. With the running backs, we haven't really seen a fumble yet. We're kind of bound for some, all right? BYU has good physical defense. These guys are a little like a step older. Like they come in after their mission 24, 25, 26 years old, and they're a little bit more physical, a little bit more stronger. Just off age alone. So really take care of the ball. It's important, especially being at home. These upset losses happen because, and Oregon is the favorite in this game. The line opened up at 6.5. I kind of seen it come down about 3 points to 3.5. We'll see how that line moves as we get closer to the game. But Oregon is the home favorite. So it's very important to take care of the ball. Another thing, number 3, okay? Nix throw for 250-plus yards and throw for 3 touchdowns, okay? He has the ability to do it. I've seen him play good competition and play good. Now, Georgia, Alabama, those type of defenses, probably not as much. But when he plays against solid defenses, I've seen him make plays. Heck, the first game of his career, he beat the Ducks in 2019, and that 2019 team went to the Rose Bowl and won. So, that just tells you, man, Nix can get it done. We got to get behind him. And this is a big game for Bo because, he did really good, threw for 5 touchdowns last game, but come on, it's Eastern Washington, and he's coming from the SEC for 3 years. He should do that. He should do that against that competition. Now, we're going to see how we're going to get. We're going to have to get Bo Nix, the good Bo Nix, for this game. There's good Bo, bad Bo, okay? And like I said, kind of goes into my point 1. Getting that fast start is very important for Bo Nix to keep him relaxed, because when we get in a hole and he feels like he has to make downfield throws or make tight throws to move the chains on a key 3rd down, he kind of tends to make bad decisions off of what I've seen on film, off of what I've seen in the first 2 games. Going against a physical veteran defense, it's going to be tough. So let's see how he can play. BYU has allowed just under 300 passing yards in the first 2 games. So we're talking about an elite defense that has played good quarterbacks, and allowing just under 300 yards in the first 2 games. They're on track to have a great passing defense. So we're going to have to see move the ball. I haven't seen much from the running game yet. We have 5 running backs coming in, but a lot of them are using for the pass game or getting in space. They have ran the ball pretty successfully with that O-line. I'd like to see the run game come to fruition a little bit more. We are passing the ball a little more than I'd like to with the O-line that we have. I think we can run the ball a little bit better, but whatever works. And I think the intermediate pass game is Bo Nix's strong suit. I think we've really seen it last week when we can get a lead fast and kind of have Bo Nix just throw those slant routes, those comeback routes, the out routes, and not have to force the ball downfield as much. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying he can't make the downfield throw. Of course he can do it, especially on scramble drills. But I think the intermediate pass game, if you want to be a pro-style offense, kind of keeping them in the pocket, those little slant routes, dive routes where you have the slot receiver come out and then you have like the tight end and the other receiver kind of block as he catches it right here. And then you have a fast slot receiver like Seven McGee or Dante Thornton, whoever it may be. I love those plays. The Terrence Ferguson's little comeback routes over the middle, Maliki Monteval's. Those are money. And if you get Bo Nix consistency, get his groove, get his his vibe going, he's gonna play great. He's gonna play great. So those are my 3 keys for an Oregon victory. Start fast, limit turnovers, 1 turnover or less, and Nick's throw for 250 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. All right, let's get into my thoughts and predictions for this game. So look, man, Oregon looked really good on both sides of the ball against lower competition, and that's what's expected. Now, 70-14 blowout, I don't think anybody expected that. I mean, even myself, I predicted 48-35. I kind of predicted the Eastern Washington would kind of move the ball against, Oregon's pass defense. They looked really suspect in week 1. But hey, man, they came to play. They got things adjusted, and the tackling was there too. They really had a good, dominant week 2 performance. But look, man, week 1 still hangs in my mind until Oregon can prove that they can play against the top teams in the nation. BYU's a veteran, experienced team. A lot of these guys come off their mission, 24, 25, 26 years old. They're focused at the game at hand. Some of these guys have wives, life outside of football, stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're not out there partying after the game. They're not focused on Instagram. I mean, these guys are focused on football and what they're trying to do after football. So, they're going to come in ready for Autzen. This is not the first loud stadium they've been in. This is going to be a challenge for Oregon. BYU went 5-0 against the Pac-12 last year. Okay, they had a win against Arizona, 24-16. Excuse me. Win against number 12 Utah at that time, 12-ranked Utah, 26-17. Okay, win against Arizona State, 27-17. Win against Washington State, 21-19, and then a win against USC, 35-31. Okay, so 5-0, man. Those are quality opponents. But this is the thing about BYU now. I look at that, and that's impressive, right? But you can also say this. It's very debatable. You can also say, okay, you beat a 1-11 Arizona team. They finished 1-11. You beat a Utah team that didn't even start Cam Rising, okay? They didn't have Cam Rising starting yet. Utah was in the flux earlier in the year before they became the Utah that Oregon faced later. Arizona State, mid-Pac-12 school, I mean, that's a solid win. Got to give it to you there, but it's not like that's elite competition, okay? You barely beat Washington State on the road. Now, given Washington State's a pretty good team in my eyes, I mean, that's not a hostile environment. And then you beat a bad USC team. I mean, we all know what USC was last year. Wasn't that great. And this is the thing. You beat, and then you were at home for most of those matchups. You beat a bad USC and bad Washington State team. And that doesn't even come on the road, right? You're on the road for those. That doesn't even come close for an Autzen Stadium. I mean, you see that back there. Those environments don't even come close to what you're going to see this Saturday. So that does factor into that. I mean, I do think home field advantage is going to play a very, very big role for Oregon in this game. And they're going to battle in this game for sure. It's going to be a very tough back and forth game for sure. Full 60 minutes of great football. I think these teams are very evenly matched for sure. I think it's going to be back and forth, evenly team match. I might even go to overtime. That's how good this game is going to be. I really expect a close game because I respect the hell out of BYU, okay? After watching them, their quarterback, Jaron Hall, first black quarterback to start at BYU, I mean, he's great, man. He's great, and he's doing good. But this is the thing. On the sidelines to on the field, in close games, in close battles, like games that are evenly matched, experience and veteran leadership come into play. And that's what I feel BYU has the edge here. I feel like they'll make less mistakes than Oregon. I just have that feeling. And I honestly feel like they'll make the plays they need to in the right situation at the right time. Where Oregon, they're catching Oregon early in the season, catching Dan Lanning in his early coaching career. I'm going to say BYU wins this game 37-34. Close victory. I'll say it goes to overtime. Close victory in overtime for BYU, 37-34. Now, the kicker did not look good last week. I understand. And you'd say, okay, well, if it goes to overtime, I think Camden Lewis has the advantage, okay? I would say that too. But I'm sure their kicker put that film on last week and he's practicing all week for this game. But we'll see, man. I just think that, I think BYU has the quarterback advantage. Okay, I think Jaron Hall is a better quarterback than Bo Nix. I think Oregon being a younger team, younger coaches, new coaches at this point of time, If they were to get BYU later in the season, I'd say Oregon would win this game. But just because BYU kind of has a veteran lead team, I mean, they returned 86% of their roster from last year. That went 5-0 against the Pac-12. I just think that BYU has a slight edge in close games because of that. I think Oregon might have a key turnover or something just because they're a little younger and they have a little or a bad coaching move, whatever it may be. I just think that BYU is going to have a key play to make it 37-34. I think Oregon's going to definitely battle that home field advantage, going to come into play. You know, might be false starts for BYU early, stuff like that. But I just think that BYU having the better quarterback, the veteran experience on the field and on the sideline will get them the win in Autzen Stadium. Now, I know that's not what Duck fans really want to hear, but hey, man, I'll be at the game. I'll be rooting for a Duck win. I hope to blow the doors out, honestly. But just being realistic here and really looking at the film and looking at everything, I think that the veteran experience, they're really evenly matched teams, but the veteran experience is going to get BYU over the edge. You know, and this is the thing too, man. Until Oregon can prove to me that they can play with the top teams with this roster, I got to see it until I can really pick Oregon to win these games. I mean, the last 3 ranked opponents for Oregon, Oregon has scored less than 7 points on average. The last 3 ranked opponents that Oregon's played. And they've averaged less than 245 yards in offense in those 3 games. So it's just tough. So I got BYU 37, Oregon 34. So guys, I'll be at the game. This is going to be an awesome game. I hope the Ducks get the victory. If you guys see me, I'm section 36, row 80. Go Ducks, man. Go Ducks. I love to chat it up. I always love talking to fans and having a good time. As always, man, go Ducks. Yo, quick thing I forgot to add in that video real quick, so I'm going to put it in real quick. So on Tuesday, I know this video just came out on Thursday, right? Okay, but on Tuesday, I gave you guys my early prediction on scoopduck.com. So I use scoopduck.com subscribers. I know you guys seen the article where me, J-Hop, QB11, Corey Patty, the whole Scoop Duck squad of writers went ahead and gave their early prediction on the BYU Oregon game. This came out Thursday. I gave my early prediction Tuesday on Scoop Duck. So for you guys that want my early prediction, that want to know before Thursday, before the prediction video for the next game comes out on Thursday, if you want to know what I'm thinking, go ahead and go on Scoop Duck on Tuesday, subscribe, and you'll see my prediction. I'm going to do that with them weekly. It's going to be fun, so I had to throw that in there. Also, guys, we're growing really fast on this channel. We just hit over 300 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, if you haven't joined the Doug Zone family, smash that button right now. Hit the like button. That always helps in the algorithm to get my videos out there. And on Instagram and Twitter, okay? You got to be following those because I give updates, I know, on YouTube a lot, but man, Instagram, Twitter, I'm on that all the time. Whatever I need to share, new uniform combo, breaking news, new recruit, new offer, new visit information, I'm on it. I'm sending you there. So follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter, and as always, go Ducks. See you guys at the BYU game. Can't wait, man. Go Ducks.